Today's video is all about how to anchor on Rainbow Six Siege. Now, we've covered a lot of other bases in the game, so we're going to focus in on anchoring for this video. Now, if you're a new player looking to learn something new, or a veteran player who's a little rusty and want to get back on track, then this is the video for you. Now, if you think I missed a tip, go down into the comment section, put it down there for players to learn from. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. So let's get started. So we're going to start off the video here by looking at the best suited operators for anchoring on site. Now, you can switch up these combos and use roaming ops if you like, but smoke is great for delaying time and stopping that diffuser going down. And then you have the likes of mute for wall denial and intel denial, and of course you got maestro for intel and damaging attackers, echo with his echo drones to stop diffuser plants, doc for healing people, and of course you've got thorn for traps and a zami for kiba barriers for protection. So there's so many different combinations you can use for anchoring on site, but the first key thing that I feel is really important is the preparation phase for an anchor. Now, getting on site and starting to set it up immediately at the start of the prep phase so you're not under pressure when the round starts. For me, my opinion, I love getting the site set up because I know exactly where head holes are, I know where rotates are, and I know the way I've reinforced the site, so I know what I'm working with. And you should be helping your teammate in understanding how the site is set up as well, especially if you've got other anchors on site, which you should. Just making that point clear, you should have other anchors on site. Now, other key things you should be doing here: roamers should be getting the hatches, especially ones with less utility, like a Solus should be going to get the kitchen hatch and getting the hatches done. And this goes for every map, setting it up and knowing where your environment is and how to use it to your advantage. You can see here another example over on Oregon, setting up the head holes for watching back stairs, opening up head holes into blue, and then creating your power position, which of course will be elbow, to delay time as attackers are pushing into the building. So key power positions are very important, making sure that you're able to create them and have your teammates work around them. You can have someone watching your back while you're holding elbow for anyone pushing down maybe the main stairs or coming in from freezer. So again, the prep phase, use it to your disposal. Don't waste time, don't walk around wasting 10-15 seconds when you could have the site set up and not get cut off by someone rushing into the building, because that happens so often. Now, moving on to the next part here, which is player positioning. Now, player positioning is so important. Like an example here, elbow is a power position. This is a really strong point. You'd have your ADSs on the wall to stop any utility flying in. You could even have like a frost map behind the shield, and this would be your stronghold for defending that area of the map. Now, if you're under pressure and they're pushing you, you can always push back, reinforce the wall, and then re-establish yourself another power position, and you've delayed enough time for the attackers. So these are just really important parts of knowing your environment, knowing where you should be sitting. You don't want to have multiple angles for entry points that you're being aimed at from multiple different areas. You have to find a spot where it's like, okay, I have this spot to look at, and I can hold this position and not be pressured from any other angle. Now, I'll show an example here, and this annoys the hell out of me. Is a dock sitting on this door when the attacker has the advantage of using the barrels for cover, and the dock is swinging out the door trying to get a pick when you should not be in a position like this, especially if you have a teammate sitting in elbow. Why would you need to be aggressive, especially with an operator that can provide heals to your teammates? You could just have a cam in here to give extra intel to the person sitting on elbow, and where you should be positioned in a situation like this is back behind the pillar. Now, of course, like I said, he gives you heals, and that's why it annoys the hell out of me that I see a dock sitting, peeking a door like that. And you should be sitting back in a position like this behind the pillar where they can't see you from the staircase, they can't see you from the blue hole head holes, and they can't see you from the freezer door. Now, of course, someone could come flying down laundry stairs and swing the long haul, but you would hope that the other anchors would be watching those areas of the site. You can sit here and hold a really strong position, not over peaking, and have to really pressure the attackers into pushing in. Now, another example here over on Clubhouse. Again, positioning is really important. I could be sitting behind these crates here looking at that main stairs, and sometimes you get tunnel vision. It's siege, it happens. And because I'm looking at that position, an attacker could push in through dirt or come down blue and pick me off. So there's two other angles that they have that I don't, because I'm focused on that main door. So I prefer to reposition myself in a position where I know I have one clear angle and that there's no way for the attacker to hit me from any other position. So I'm going to show you here an example. I sit in front of the crate. Now I know my body's more exposed to that main door, but I have no angle from dirt because of the large crates. And I also don't have anyone who's able to swing in that blue door, because potentially you would have a teammate watching the rotate and anyone coming down through oil pit. So this is just a strong position to be in. Now, of course, there is the hatch, so you would have to be careful of that, but you can always push back, especially if you know your teammate is holding blue. You could come back behind those crates and position yourself in a way that the lockers are blocking dirt, and of course you have your teammate in blue so he can give a call if someone's coming that way, and you also have that added protection for that main stairs. Sitting in this position even allows me for protection from the hatch. So again, it's just looking around your environment and seeing where you can protect yourself from any oncoming attackers. Now another example here over on Coastline in the hookah billiards room. So what you can do here is, if you have someone pushing from aquarium and you're under pressure, if you're swinging out like this, which okay, you have a pixel angle, you have the bomb chassis for cover, but the problem is you're sitting in the middle of the room and someone could be coming in from penthouse and come through VIP and pick you off from DJ booth. So what I like to do is just look around my environment. What can I do to be in a safer position? Now, of course, there is the risk of the window, but if you know that there's no one on that window and there's no one out in ruins, then you could hop up on this little mid table in the middle here. You can vault on top of this, and what this allows you to do is you have even more protection from the bomb chassis. You're also not going to get picked off by someone in VIP. You would hope that you would have an anchor sitting in vase, so you know that someone can't come rushing up cool vibes, and of course you only have to worry about the window. Now another really important tip, and this is again one that I see a lot of people doing wrong, and that is that you're not using all of your utility. I see people just kind of messing around the prep phase. They might spend too much time reinforcing all of the walls. There's multiple people on site. You shouldn't have to reinforce all the walls yourself, especially if you have more utility than the other anchor. So like for example, Maestro, you've got 3 cams you need to set up. So I always like to put them in really good strong positions, like one here on top of the jukebox watching into Moto, one at the back of site for anyone dropping the hatch or coming in through the wall from the main stairs, and then one towards the back of the site on the other side to watch anyone coming dirt or coming down through blue. So it's just like making sure that you get your utility down at the beginning, because you know you might have Valk who has a bunch of cams, so you need to set up, and you don't want to get too carried away with setting up the site, so you can also have that intel or do damage to attackers. So another example here would be with Ella. If you decide to play on site with Ella, you'd want to put down her gadgets in key positions or locations that attackers are going to be pushing from. So again, somewhere in blue, like if they're coming down secret stairs or coming through oil pit, you could have one of her devices right up against the back of this wall here. So you know when they hit it, you know that there's someone coming from that position. And if you're holding that spot right behind the crates like I showed earlier, then you would know that your teammate is in blue and you could also help them out and get a pick. Same goes for dirt. So dirt, blue, and maybe on the main stairs would be 3 key areas that you could put your devices down, so you can get that intel of, oh, there's someone coming main stairs, I can refocus my attention. Or if one of your other teammates is able to know as well, you can give the call out. So it's just these really key things of using your utility and having the site set up to facilitate these gadgets. Then you have a much better chance of winning rounds. Now, if you are in a position where you've decided to play Ella and hold site and help out the main anchors, then you know you can also use it to your advantage in a different way. You could push up that main stairs like you just saw, get a few shots off if you know there's someone up there, push back, and then as they're making their way down the main stairs, they would hit that device, and then you would know that that is the position to be in, and you can help your teammates in picking them off. Now, the next key thing to talk about here is checking cams. Because you're anchoring on site and you know you're in a safe position, especially right off the start of the round, because there's no attackers are going to be straight in there within the first second, you should be getting on cams for your roamers, letting them know that, okay, there's some coming in from Junkyard here, for example, on Oregon, or coming in from the front side on the street, or coming in through construction, and you can give that initial intel so the roamers can position themselves better for the oncoming attackers. Now, the same goes for during the round. It isn't just about at the start. If you have a moment in the round where you know that you're safe and you can give some extra help for those roamers, then you can hop on cams and check, oh, there's someone coming down Shower Hall, they're probably going to head towards the freezer stairs, or they're coming in the main door, heading down the main stairs, and then the roamers can kind of maneuver themselves around and get picks on the roam. So these are just really important parts of, as an anchor, you're not just supposed to sit on side and wait for the roamers to die and then expect the attackers to come in and try and hold them off from there. You should be helping them so that they don't have to get on the cams and be struggling to check cams and maneuver around these attackers and not be seen by them. So it's just a really key part to remember. Now, another thing here, and this is really simple, look at the entry points for each site. Okay, there's a main stairs here. You can barricade the door, put some barbed wire down. It means that they have to hit the door or break it open, so you get that instant audio intel of, oh, someone's after breaking the door at the front side. I've also got barbed wire there, so they know that they have to break that. So you're slowing them down, and while they're doing that, you can then prep yourself to pick them off as they peek that door. For example, here you can make an angle in the side of the unit here, so you can watch them coming in through that door, pick them off. So it's just knowing those entry points, knowing how to use them, and use your utility around those points. So those are just some of the really important tips that you need to know for anchoring on site. If there's stuff that I missed, like I said at the start, go down into the comment section, add it in there so that people who are looking at the video can go down and maybe learn something else from you guys down in the comment section. So go down there and check it out. Now, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We are posting content every week, so you're going to keep up to date on everything related to Siege. And of course, like the video if you did enjoy it. And if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, let us know down below and we'll do our best to bring it to you. Now, if you haven't got your hands on any of the Elevate bundles on the R6 shop, make sure to check them out. The most recent one being the Maverick one, which is straight fire. You're going to want to rock that one. So without me talking anymore, I'll talk to you in the next one.